Muted.
Yeah.
I understand it's your tech guru.
Morning, everybody. Or yeah, it's still morning.
Yeah.
Hello, President Jason.
Mr. Don and Wanda, good seeing y'all. Tony, great seeing you.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Don.
All right, now we hear you.
Okay.
Where's
I have a
Judy?
He's our new assistant treasurer.
All right, congratulations.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for doing that.
Hey, Lloyd, how are you?
Fine.
That mask is funny.
Well, we're supposed to be masked up, aren't we?
We're gonna shut the doors.
Lloyd, I just now realized it was a virtual mask. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize.
Ah,
All right, has Judy made it in yet? Let me call her. Let's see.
Hello, Linda.
Hey,
Linda, did you change your name to Jeffrey?
well, it automatically defaults to that because I'm using my husband's account.
Well, it's good to see you.
Hi, Stacy.
All right. I'm finishing lunch, so that's why I'm clicking off, okay?
We're glad you're with us, Stacy.
Thank you. And Jason, I owe you an email. I was in email jail for about 3 weeks, so I'm catching up. I got over 2,000 emails, but I'm going to get back with you, okay?
No worries.
All right.
One of my interns, LaDana Jackson, has joined us. She's a social work senior at Tarleton.
Fantastic. Oh, welcome, LaDana. No, we did a family Zoom over the Thanksgiving holiday, and
It looks like some people are already on.
my one of my daughters, actually it was a cousin who put on Grand's favorite. That she was it wasn't Courtney's name, it was Grand's favorite. And so that's when I learned that I could, as host, I could change the names of different players on the screens. If you become something else today, it might be because I thought I had a better name for it. Glad to see you, Gina.
Good to be seen.
Gina, if you have a silver necklace that you could put on, we could confuse you and Wanda.
Ah, is Wanda wearing blue? Ah, hey, girlfriend.
Hey, how you doing, Gina?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah, the media is all consumed with buying the building and moving City Hall. My goodness.
I thought back to when Lynn Roberts built Radio Shack and Marvin built Pier 1, and I just think it's going to be a good fit.
I'm on.
I'm excited.
Gwen.
I think everybody agrees.
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a city hall.
And you won't have to go walking blocks to find somewhere to park. But it was so funny when Irma Johnson sold, when she bought Radio Shack from Lynn Roberts, from that property, the people at TCC were so excited. I was like the elders from Israel when the temple was rebuilt. And I just said, oh, you guys just don't know how marvelous this had been. But, you just go along with it. And I just think it's going to give us the balance that we had back in that good day. So.
Well, the only greater
The other damn screen
in our community is what the new Fort Worth ISD headquarters will be.
Yeah, boy, lot of room for criticism and experts.
For sure that's this computer.
there's
not the other.
that building has served us well, but it's
Oh, no,
it's
I'm
ready for
not.
retirement as soon as we get a chance.
Yeah, I used to have to park there when we were talking to Ken Scribner about joining LEAD, and they'd always have to make room for us to park because there's just nowhere.
Yeah.
Go to the cemetery, you know.
That's right.
Happy Thursday.
Good having somebody join us this morning. We still have another 10 minutes or so before we get going. But
Brother was rushed to the hospital at 2:30 a.m. Yesterday morning. So you'll see me hop off at about 12:45 because that's when the doctor is going to come in.
okay, you said that was your brother or your mother?
Yeah.
Or?
My brother.
Oh. Well, prayers for him.
Thank you. Thank you. His wife was horrified. He was shaking uncontrollably at 2:30. His eyes rolled back in his head and he was unresponsive. And they got him to Harris downtown. And I just spoke with him. So he is able to talk now. But thank you for the prayers.
You betcha. Gosh. Hey, Mike Shedd, good seeing you.
Hello. Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
I'm not
We
muted.
hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't say anything inappropriate.
I know that's right.
Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Dan makes an appearance. Good seeing you, Dan. All right. Well, and just to give the early arrivers a preview, Representative Granger will join us right about 12:15, and depending on how fast we move through our agenda, we may go straight from announcements to Kay, or we may go ahead and begin the member introductions, our tradition for our December meetings. And what I'll be asking you for is your name, your title, and your organization, and then to fill in the blank, East Fort Worth Business Association members should call me if they are in need of blank. And so we'll ask you to fill in the blank of why should your fellow members reach out to you? As I look around the screen, there's some of you, I can't wait to see how you fill in that blank. Oh, and received a note. Let's see if I can find it. Just maybe y'all know Charles Edmonds, and he's been hit by COVID pretty hard apparently. So keep him in your thoughts.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Jason.
You bet. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, David.
Thank you. Thank you, Don.
There she is. All right, she's signing on. Nuh-uh.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Krista Holiday with Miss Granger's office. She is in a meeting, and I was just getting her all set up. So she'll be here probably about 1:15.
Perfect.
Your time.
Yeah. Oh, and our Judy Simpson is with us as owner, which that makes sense for Judy. So yeah, we're glad you're on, Judy. Judy's a newcomer to Zoom, as I understand it. So we'll help her along if she has any bumps. I know Kat's already been real helpful to her. So thanks for doing that, Kat.
Okay, I unmuted, but I hate this. I'm so technically challenged, so I'm going to mute me and not say anything else.
We're just glad you're here, Judy.
Judy, don't forget to go down to the bottom of the screen and turn on the chat button so you can read all the cheat sheet notes going down the side. Yeah, Linda, it's like passing notes in class.
Hey, Brian.
Jason, how you doing?
Just unbelievable.
Good, good.
And you?
You don't believe how well you're doing?
That's right. And what's your story?
Oh, I'm just happy to be here. Just happy to be here.
You know, we see these pictures on Zoom, and I kind of have the idea Brian's been in that same room since March.
I have been. This is my assigned space.
Haven't we all?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember, has that whiteboard behind Mike's shed changed in 6 months? I'm not.
It gets, the list gets longer, and I do occasionally scratch things out of there.
Well, I appreciate everyone being so prompt and early today. We're just going to kind of hang out here for a few minutes. So feel free to use the chat, as Linda pointed out to us, or visit amongst ourselves.
Gina, this one right here, I'm going to ask for your help on right here. Right here.
I'm drinking calm tea right now, just in preparation.
This is
I
Danny.
need a champion on city council to help me with that project. But it's a good one, so you'll like it, I think.
No, you're on.
Welcome, Danny and Jerry.
Hey, Danny and Jerry, and we'll have a couple others here. We're probably going to eat lunch, so we'll mute our video and audio and just watch.
Glad you're here, guys.
Hey, Gina, how are you doing?
Daddy, my partner in crime.
That's right. Linda, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll listen.
All righty.
I think another one of my interns is coming in, but I saw him flash through. Roman Kucherevsky.
I can see Roman there. Welcome, Roman.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Also,
Thank you.
also a senior social work major at Tarleton.
Roman, is that you got the Tarleton pennant flying behind you there?
Oh, so nice of you to notice.
I've got a junior at Tarleton, so it's somewhat familiar.
Yeah, I got to represent, because always see these people in universities wearing their shirts and their university socks, and I got to represent somehow.
Well, when you're a D1 school, that's what you do, right? Yeah, is that TCU, I understood, was quick to invite Tarleton to play their first D1 football game against Tarleton.
I would imagine.
Yeah, so that was a really nice offer for them to put that on the schedule.
I think it was this past year that they became D1.
Yeah. All right, a few more minutes. And just while have a few minutes, I'll do a quick commercial. If you have not been on the East Fort Worth Business Association website, EFWBA.org, Kat's done a lot of work to improve that and add functionality. And so check that out if you haven't been there in a little while. And thanks, Kat, for.
And I'm still working on it. A lot of moving parts.
It looks so easy from what we see.
Welcome, Bill Swinson and Paul Crepeau.
Good morning,
Nan's
everyone.
coming in.
Good morning, Bill.
Hi, David.
Hey, fellas.
Hi,
All right,
Lloyd. I'm glad to see Lloyd continues to be comfortable during these meetings.
Well, I have to be comfortable when I'm at home because I'm not driving right now.
Okay.
I've spent so much
Wanda, I
time
like your
back and
glasses.
forth between here and Abilene and Breckenridge. I'm wore out.
I got you. Well, it's tough to get old, right?
Yeah, and then to take care of your parents.
Got you. Been there.
Lloyd, is that a virtual mask you're wearing there?
Yes.
Oh.
I kind of noticed that too. I was wondering why he didn't have his beard tucked up under that mask, but you know.
Hey, Mike W.
Hello, how are you?
It's great.
Hey,
Good
Mike.
glad you're here.
Hey, Mike.
All right. President Slaybaugh, welcome.
It is. How are you?
It's great. Good seeing you.
Good. Good to be here.
Now we gotta behave, huh?
That's right. The big guns.
Act impressive. I'll mute.
Gina, I don't know if I'd go quite that far about the behaving.
I was gonna make a comment on Lloyd, but then when I saw the president step in, I thought, I'll just wait.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, that's what the chat's for, Gina.
Okay.
All right. Well, terrific group today. We're going to start in just about 2 minutes. Some unfamiliar faces are interns that are working with Linda Fulmer.
Got 3 of them.
Great.
So
Glad to have you
Alexis.
guys. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you. Here.
You know, Linda, if you need a 4th intern, I think Dan Hayes is available. He's
Well, I have 2 others.
Okay.
I have 5 this semester. And they've done tremendous work. In fact, I think Roman's about to change his major to agriculture.
Urban farms are the way to go, right?
It's been a pretty neat semester. I never thought I'd be getting into urban farming and finding out about soil health, and it's been pretty cool, actually.
Well, that's great. Not surprising. You have good experience with Linda leading you. Well, it is 12 o'clock, so great to be with everybody today. Thank y'all for dialing in. Our game plan for today is we'll go through our typical business items. Roughly 12:15, Representative Granger is scheduled to dial in as she comes from the meeting. Depending on exactly when business ends and she dials in, we will do our traditional member introductions. And that's where I'll ask you to state your name, your title, your organization, and then to fill in the blank for the statement. If an East Fort Worth Business Association member is in need of blank, I'm the person to call. So just a quick way, with so many of us, we'll have to keep it a little bit on the brief side, but just to make sure we know who's around the table, our virtual table anyway today. So with that, we've got Angela Baker handling the prayer and the pledge for us momentarily. Brian Bolta is going to handle announcements, and then we'll go into the meat of our program. So with that, I will turn it over to Angela.
Okay. I'll start off with the prayer. Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking you for your blessing and to help us as we gather together. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that you would challenge each other to reach higher and further to be the best that we can be. We also pray that everyone stays healthy and safe. We ask this in your name, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 If you can, stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. Sorry to be a little slow on my flag display there. Brian.
Thanks, Jason. We have, I think we only have 2 announcements. The first one is about the January meeting, and either Mike or Wanda is going to make this announcement. Mike, Wanda?
Yes. Yes, January, we are definitely working on that. You will see where we are planning to have reservations, and at this time, it's an in-person meeting with the mayor. And it just depends on a few things. But the main thing is that the in-person part will require a reservation and a spot. So we're still, you know, the calendar and all of the challenges of the times are out there. So we will be working on that, and Wanda and I will have that all together and out to you probably in about a week and a half.
Thank you, Mike.
And Mike, just to remind everybody, remind everyone where that'll be.
That will be, you have to help me with the name of the building.
The tech building, I think. Well, that may be as far as the name of the development so far.
I know where it's at. It's at Bridgewood and John T. White and
The Fort Worth ISD Tech Building at the corner of Bridge and Bridgewood, the old Kroger building.
Yeah. Yeah. So really neat looking, newly refurbished space that'll be great for us to host the meeting in.
And we can only have 50 or 60 people there. So the reservations will be absolutely necessary.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This might be one of the first East Fort Worth business meetings where we have a bouncer at the door to check the list and allow entrance. So this just one more thing that goes with the times, y'all.
Hey, thanks for the warning, Mike. Appreciate that. The second announcement is from Bill Schwensen, and it's regarding the election of our 2021 board. Bill?
Yes, the bylaws of this association require that the president establish a nominating committee, and for the purpose of presenting a slate of officers and directors for this association to be voted on in the latter part of every year. This process was delayed a little bit this year. It's normally concluded in October. But since we were meeting virtually and we feel like that this process is important enough to try to do it face-to-face if we can, we suspended the usual rules to allow for a 60-day delay in presenting the slate and taking the vote. Since we haven't been able to meet face-to-face since early in the year, we're going to go ahead and adhere to the bylaws and have our election. The slate was presented to the membership at the November meeting. And today we will take the vote. To refresh everyone's memory, I will give you the slate that was presented. Our president for next year is going to be Jason Ray, who is the CEO of Clayton Youth Services. Technically, Jason is really not up for a vote today because the presidency of the association is a 2-year term, and he was elected last year. So he's on the slate, but he's really not being voted on because he will be entering the second year of a 2-year term. Our president-elect is Mike Wisenen, owner of WizQ Stone. Our vice president is Charles Hodges, who is with the Fort Worth ISD Eastside Outreach effort. Our secretary is Mr. Don Boren, who is the owner of Don Boren Company and Quick Copy Printing. Our treasurer is Angela Baker from Southside Bank. Our past president, who is also a non-elected and non-voting board member, is Wanda Conlon. Our directors, and all of these directors that I'm about to give you are returning for another term. Judy Simpson, who is with the Polytechnic High School Alumni Association. Michael Shedd, who is currently the Deputy Chief of the Fort Worth Police Department. Myself, I have a financial services practice here in East Fort Worth. David Salgado, who is a real estate investor in this area. Linda Fulmer, who is the Executive Director of the Healthy Tarrant County Collaboration. Brian Bilta, who is the Senior Director of Sponsored Programs and Foundation Relations for Texas Wesleyan University. And then we have one new director coming on board this year, Gina Bivens, who is the District 5 representative to the Fort Worth City Council. That's the report of the nominating committee. Mr. President, this would be the time to call for nominations from the floor, if there are any.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Are there any further nominations? Hearing and seeing none. Bill, your report comes from committee?
Yes.
Correct. So we'll take that as a motion that does not require a second. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we close the nominations from the floor and take a vote.
Okay. There's a motion to close the conversation. Is there a second? There's a second to close the discussion. All in favor of closing the discussion, say aye.
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 Okay. And then we'll move to the formal vote on the slate of officers, which doesn't require a second. So all in favor there, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you to your committee. And I'll even more importantly, I dare say thank you to all those board members continuing to serve. And Gina, welcome. Look forward to working with you this next year as well. Thank you,
Mr.
Bill.
President.
Bill's handles this task so well each year. We appreciate you taking that on, Bill. And who else was on your committee?
I'm sorry?
Who else was on the nominating committee?
Well, it was most of the people that were on the committee, with the exception of Don Bourne, are not here today. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, our thanks as well. All right. A few more folks join. Welcome, Matthew, Toby, and others that I'm not seeing on my screen right now. Okay, so here we are. It's 12:10, and as I shared, the representative is due to join us about 12:15, and so we're going to pull forward into our agenda the our December tradition of member introductions. And so I'm going to go around my screen and oh, I forgot a really important announcement. But in just a moment, I'll go around my screen and invite you to introduce yourself by your name, your title, your organization, and fill in the blank. East Fort Worth Business Association members should call me if they are in need of, and you'll fill in the blank. But the thing that I forgot to mention that's oh so critical and goes to the heart of the East Fort Worth Business Association, we have door prizes today. And so stick around, and we will be virtually presenting or selecting the winners for today's door prizes. And we will be mailing those Mexican Inn gift cards to you after the meeting. So important tradition we're glad to uphold, even though we're not in the same room together. So with that, I'm going to grab my notes and I'm just gonna bounce around. When we pick this up, y'all will have to help me figure out who I need to pick up with. Linda Fulmer, would you kick us off, please?
Okay, I'm Linda Fulmer, and I'm a nonprofit contractor. I serve as the Executive Director for Healthy Tarrant County Collaboration and Fort Worth Promotion and Development Fund. I served as the Finance Department for Challenge of Tarrant County and Housing Opportunities of Fort Worth. I serve as the Federal Compliance Monitor for the Area Agency on Aging of Tarrant County. I'm the CHNA Administrator for the Center for Children's Health at Cook Children's and the Project Manager for the United Way and UNT Health Science Center for their National Institutes of Health SEAL grant, which is relating to COVID. And I guess people should call me if they are in need of information about the retail food environment in Tarrant County and any questions regarding how to manage a nonprofit.
Awesome. That's why she needs so many interns. She's got so many jobs. Angela Baker, would you take us next?
Yes, my name is Angela Baker. I am the branch manager here in Fort Worth for Southside Bank. And East Fort Worth business should call me if they have any banking needs. I'll be able to help you.
Right. And also in your box, I've got Louis.
Hello, my name is Luis Quintero, and I'm the assistant manager here at Southside Bank at this location. And if y'all need anything with Angela, I can help out whenever she's too busy. I'm her assistant to both treasurer and here at the branch.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks, Luis.
Thank you.
Michael Shedd.
My name is Michael Shedd. I'm currently a deputy chief with the Fort Worth Police Department and assigned to Operational Command, which is the training academy, professional standards, and our communication division. And I would say that East Fort Worth Business Association members should call me, or any business owner in the east side of Fort Worth can call me if they're having any police-related issues or community-related issues that are standing in the way of helping their business thrive. Give us a call, and that can be anything from you're having a dispute with a neighbor over something, maybe trash is blowing onto your property from an adjoining property, maybe somebody's loitering on your property and it's scaring away your customers. Give us a call, and we'll try to get involved with that to remove those problems from.
Thank you, Michael. Kat. Kat, you're muted.
Sorry, hi. I'm Catherine Kroll, and I work for Don Bourne Commercial Printing, and I'm your club newsletter editor and your website developer, and anybody should call me if you need anything printed from microchip to motorhomes.
Great. Thank you, Kat. And before I go on, I believe someone's monitoring the site for Representative Granger. If
she hasn't popped in yet.
So we'll look for her to sign on or give us a heads up when she's with us. But meanwhile, we'll keep moving forward. Lloyd.
Turn on your microphone. Lloyd, you're muted.
Undone that. Sorry, I thought I'd punched it. I guess I missed it. I'm Lloyd Jones, a photographer for the Greater Meadowbrook News. Also, I work on, well, when we get back to normal, I hope to be working on the Hanley Festival again. We were on the way to having a good team and possibly a good festival this last year, or for 2020, when everything went away. But we're looking forward to next year. I guess if y'all need any photography, give me a holler.
Great. Thanks, Lloyd. And I do see a familiar face now. Congresswoman Granger, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. We have been going through member introductions, a December tradition for us, but everyone knows we were going to take a break when you were able to join us. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And Wanda Conlon is going to introduce the person who really doesn't need a whole lot of introduction anywhere.
I hope not. I hope not. Right. Thank you.
No, she
Wanda?
doesn't need a lot of introduction, but it is an honor to be able to introduce her. A longtime friend, 30-year friend. She's a caring daughter, a mother, teacher, small business owner, and then mayor and congresswoman. When Kay was urged to run for mayor of the city of Fort Worth, I cannot believe she said yes, because she was faced with the challenges of a tanked economy, a high crime rate, and the threatened closing of the air base. She just jumped right on in there, got elected, rolled up her sleeves, and went to work. And I think she's been fighting to keep that air base open ever since. And it is just an honor to have her. I don't want to take up any more of her time because it's precious, and we are so glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's good to be with all of you. You know, I'm a East Side girl. That's what we always call ourselves. Meadowbrook Elementary, Meadowbrook Middle School, Eastern Hills High School, and Texas Wesleyan University. So I had the best education possible, and a wonderful way to grow up and then see what all is happening. And I've had the most amazing alternatives offered to me. And I would kind of take a big breath and deep breath and say, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. And I've enjoyed every part of it. Coming to Congress. It's funny, I was talked into running for the city council, and from city council, I was talked into run for mayor. And you would think at some point I would say, now let's discuss this. And then I was actually packing up all my stuff from in my third term and in my third term as mayor when Pete Guerin called me. He was a member of Congress and said, Kay, I want to talk to you about something. He said, I'm not going to run again for Congress, and I want you to run. And I said, Pete, I said, I've enjoyed everything I've done, but I a little needed time to catch my breath. He said, no, you don't. You really don't need that. And I said, well, there's something else you need to know. I said, Pete, I'm a Republican. And he said, oh, hell, Kay, I know that. And I said, well, I just want to make sure you did since you're a Democrat. And so it just hasn't made a difference that way. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing right now, because it's a strange time. We just left a meeting. I just walked in talking about what we're going to do about our next vote of how we help people get through this time. And it's really tough for a lot of people. And I know all of you know that. So I am the ranking member. If the vote went the other way, I'd be the chair of appropriations, but I'm a ranking member of appropriations, and we're still all working together. I just want to tell you what's happening, some upgrades. Like we just received information, Texas received 10,000 vials of the new treatment for the coronavirus. That's one of the highest amounts of any state. And of course, we're the biggest state, so we should have that. But that's really important. And this treatment is already being used in the Fort Worth hospitals. And it's similar to what the president got. Remember when he was hospitalized by the virus and then got well so fast? Well, this is the medication that was being used. And so that's what they're putting out there for. Governor Abbott's working to get even more supplies to our hospitals and reduce the strain on our health care. And we're all working together. This is one of the things where Democrats, Republicans, we're all working on this way. They call it Operation Warp Speed. And I know you had the same reaction when the president started talking about how fast we get these vaccines. And I said, well, I hope, you know, this is the truth because people will depend on it. Well, it was. And when they called it warp speed, they mean that's how fast we're going to get this. And so those vaccines, there are 5 vaccines in all. And they work a little bit differently, but Moderna is the second vaccine maker to apply for the emergency FDA approval for its vaccine. And they really are coming fast. And I've been very involved in some situations. For instance, a Texas company came to me and said, Kay, I want to show you what we can do. And they had been working with the University of Texas at Austin in putting those vaccines that you probably have read have to be stored in minus 70 degrees. And the way they have to be stored, we can put them in a pill so you don't have to worry about how hot or how cold they are. And so I got on the phone immediately and said, Washington, you need to know about this, because this would be a big game changer if people could take, instead of a shot that has to be transported all over the United States, if not all over the world, this is a pill they could take with them. So there's some things like that that are going on that are just really exciting, and they're moving very fast. And so I wanted you to know about that and what's happening in Texas. One of the things that was so important about the stimulus package we're putting together, you know, when this all happened, we said, we've got to get help to people as fast as we can, particularly small businesses. Because if they're waiting a month to get help, they won't be there. There are very few of us in Congress who had ever owned their own business. And I was one of them. Kevin Brady was the other one. And I said, I own my own business for 24 years. And so I know that payroll to payroll and how we have to work that. So we have to get this to them very quickly and make sure they have that. So the Paycheck Protection Program really has had great results in Fort Worth. And they're talking about Fort Worth, we're talking about the greater Fort Worth, but it's over 4,000 companies in Tarrant County received loans of $150,000 and more. About 200,000 jobs were saved in Tarrant County thanks to this program. And this is going to happen again. So if you don't get enough information, call me and I'll tell you exactly what's happening. Republicans, Democrats both worked on this. They know we have to improve our communication and our delivery. So some areas are requiring more time to negotiate than others, but Congress is really working on it. We should all stay focused on our previous relief packages. If they're not working, let me know why they're not working. We can make changes immediately. We want it to be effective, and that's something that we did so fast. We're getting ready to pass another 12 appropriations packages, and that's what I'm doing right now. We're looking over every single one of them and trying to get them done as fast as we possibly can. I think they'll be voted on next week. If we can get them ready for the weekend, we'll stay over on the weekend and get them passed. But if not, we'll do it first thing next week coming in. One of the things I've been most concerned with is the airlines. And of course, we have 3 major airlines in Texas. One, American Airlines, their headquarters is Fort Worth, Texas, and they really need the help. And I've been working on that so hard. The COVID situation has helped in one reason, that they have more cargo to deliver. But airlines need the help, and I'll be working on that continuously like I've done before. Some good news, I hope you saw this in the paper, because the C-130, our base, we've worked on this literally for years to say, where will the C-130s be based? And because we have a base in Fort Worth, Texas, we were one of the top bidders and say, we want the C-130Js right there at that base. And they notify us this week that we won that. That is so important. It's when I first came into politics, the F-16 out of Lockheed Martin in Fort Worth, Texas was the airplane. In fact, when I became mayor, they said, would you like to fly the F-16? And I said, sure. Now, I had no idea what I was saying sure to, but when we got in that plane and we went straight up like this and then went straight down, I said, that's what people are warning me about. But they did warn me enough before you do that, don't eat anything for 24 hours. I didn't eat anything for 48 hours. Because I said, I can't imagine anything worse than throwing up inside a plane. Well, that was the F-16. Then we went to the F-35. The C-130s are so important. And then for our base to get those, it was a really big deal. The Air Force selection was so competitive, and it literally has lasted for several years. And so I was one that would call and they said, Congressman, I know what you're calling about. We haven't made that decision yet. And I said, well, make it fast because we need that. So that's something we've announced this week, and it's really, really important. And I knew that you'd want to know about it. Let me tell you just the last thing of my business under a Joe Biden presidency. And I know Joe, and we've worked together before, but here's some things I think we can expect. I think with the Joe Biden presidency, there'll be probably less spending on defense, a greater focus on social programs and healthcare and climate change. Biden will still be working with the Republican Senate and a much smaller Democrat majority. It encourages us to work together. And I tell you, believe me, when we work together, we do it better. It's just that is the way, because you get everyone's input. So that's going to be really important. I've worked with him before, and I know that he's very thoughtful, and he looks at things, he looks for the long term, and he looks to working together. So that's what I expect. The Democrats have proposed $2 trillion for pandemic relief. I'm committed to see they continue to spend money wisely, whatever the amount of money is, that we're spending it wisely. So that's where you come in of saying, okay, here's what we're seeing, here's what we're needing, here's what people need, here's what businesses need. So we can make sure that we get that relief out there, the people that need it most. The priorities of the House Republicans is defeating the coronavirus, rebuilding our economy, and countering China. And the meeting I just left was a briefing on China and what China is doing that affects the United States of America. And this is not a friend. This is a huge competitor. And so I will stay very involved in that to make sure that China is not hurting our economy and our businesses. There's an important education part of this, and the education part of this and I pushed this as an old teacher. I said, it's really important, our education, that we head it the right way. So focus on STEM education, science, technology, engineering, math, that's the STEM education. And it's so important for all of our young people who are being educated today and will be the leaders that you are in the future. And so that STEM education is very, very important, and we'll continue to focus on it. I appreciate the time that you let me talk to you. And if there is any extra time, I'll be glad to answer questions. I just wanted to get to you, the information to you as fast as I could on what I'm working on.
That was great. The information couldn't be any fresher, it sounds like. So
we literally walked right out of that meeting. Yes, I was scribbling through the whole thing. So yes, it's right off the press, I guess you say. Yeah, thanks.
Well, we do have a little time. Does Don? We normally funnel our questions through Don's computer and the chat. Don, do you have anything?
Not yet, but I was very interested in hearing Representative Granger's ideas about the new women that are coming into the House and the impact that she expects for the changing demographics.
When I was running for Congress the first time, someone said to me, Kay, I don't think we've ever had a woman from Texas in the Congress. And I said, oh, I'm sure that's not true. And I said, well, Kay Hutchison said, no, she went straight to the Senate. So we looked, and sure enough, I was the first woman from Texas, Republican woman from Texas, to serve in the Congress. And that really puzzled me. But I never thought 23 years later, I would still be, until this year, and one woman, Beth Van Dyne, literally in one vote, double the number of Republican women from Texas in Congress. Instead of one of us, there are two of us now. And so she joined me, and she's great. Yeah, we became friends quickly. But there are more women in Congress than they've ever been. And it just means you add to the equation of who's making decisions. And so we really want a diverse membership in our Congress, just like we do in our city council and all the others, to say, are we hearing from everyone and getting everyone's view on what we're doing?
Thank you, Kay. several other questions that have come up. One, has there been any talk about any type of work assistance like a WPA program? Has that entered the discussion?
There has been, and I don't know what happened to that because when this all first started, we started talking about that. Instead, it's been more of the focus on education right now, but let me check into that and I can get back to you, Don.
Great, thank you. Another individual asked, do you think it'll be this year or next year for any relief? I know that there's a lot of factors there involved, but your best idea?
Relief of what kind of relief are you talking about?
Individual. More individual relief. I think that the question was more geared to individual relief.
I think there will be, and there's talk about it right now about, we're saying, how do we help small businesses? How do we help individuals? How do we help the kids in school? And then so much of the talk has been the past few weeks about our children whose schools are closed and what it's doing to their education and what it's doing to, and some people say they're going to lose a whole year of school because it's been so off and on. I know the colleges are working, and Fred, I know that you're looking at all the educators saying, how do we keep our universities and college open, and how do we work to make sure that they don't lose a year or that they go to school and keep up with what their school plan was. So the individual, I don't know how that's going to turn out. I do know how it's going to turn out with small businesses.
I think President Slaybach had asked if you had any idea if the stimulus was going to be passed this year by the end of the year.
It will. Mm-hmm. It has to be to really be important. And so, yes, we will be working on, we'll be doing some voting tomorrow, tomorrow, all next week. And then it depends on if we get our work done, then we'll be through to the end of the year. If not, we'll call back. We're on call from the Speaker of the House. So Nancy Pelosi, we have a calendar of what's going on right now. Is so out of the ordinary that we're all, as we leave, saying, keep checking your messages because we haven't finished, we'll be called back. And that's the way it should be.
Thank you, Kay. Have a question that there is, I think all of us probably agree that there has been an absolute, almost unbelievable amount of money spent in the political arena. Has there been any talk at all about reform or limitations? Do you think that's even going to start?
I asked the question in a meeting today, how much money was spent in Texas by Democrats and how much for Republicans? And no one could even answer the question because there was so much outside money that no one really has any idea. Or individual races. I had my primary and I had to raise 3 times the amount for a primary than I had ever raised for any election. And it's not good for any of us. It's not healthy. It's a waste. And we always think about what could be done with that money instead of just asking for votes. So I'm one to say there should be limited amounts.
Okay. Thank you, Kay. And I think the last question I have here is, do you think that any of this individual relief will include another check?
Yes, I do. I do. And I hope we do. We've done this. This will be the 3rd round. And the first round, when all this hit us, we knew we had to get relief to people and to businesses. And we worked so fast. I kept saying, the first round, they said, well, it'll take about 6 months to get the money to these people. And I said, then don't send it because those businesses will be closed. They won't stay open for 6 months. And I just fought that. And I said, if we're going to do it, we got to do it right now. And we did. We did it so fast, but we made some mistakes. When you do something that fast, and I don't apologize for it because the speed of getting the money was so important. But we made some mistakes. The biggest mistake is we didn't prepare the banks for that many people coming to them and all the hoops they had to jump through. So we quickly tried to make changes so to correct that. Now we're at a third time, and so we know more, but we need input. And so all of you that are there, if you have individual stories or just because you're good business people, say, Kay, this is where the biggest need is, and let me know, because I'm the highest ranking Republican on this 9 committee. And so I have a lot of influence in that, and I really need to hear from you to make sure we're using that money to really help people and to get businesses on their feet.
Great.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Where are we on meeting?
Yeah, Kay, Wanda's got a question.
Hi, Wanda.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have said, yes, I will be mayor, and yes, I will jump in and be your congressperson?
Yeah, I'd say yes both times. I really would, and so I don't learn. I was always a slow learner, but the opportunity to be mayor of Fort Worth, even at the time when it was such a hard time, was just the experience of a lifetime. And I'll tell you why. Because everyone wanted to fix things and everyone was willing to help. I remember going into, if you remember, I gave the first town hall meeting in 40 years when I became mayor. We had not had a citywide, and so we did that, and we had so many respond. We had it at the convention center, and as I was walking in, this woman came up and she says, Mayor, the governor's on the phone. She wants to talk to you. And I thought, Ann Richards is going to congratulate me for doing this. And she said, Kay, you're not going to like what I have to say, but we just chose your base to close. And I couldn't even respond. I couldn't even, like my brain wouldn't accept it. But I tell you what we are. Fort Worth, Texas said, I know this is bad. I know we've got a lot of issues. We're all in this to help. And that will never leave me as long as I live, to watch how people all stepped up and just did what they could do for the city. Congress is a different situation, but Texas is unique and Fort Worth is unique. And the help's always out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. I believe President Slaybach asked one last question here. Have you heard anything about the expedited approval of the vaccines?
Yes, I got a briefing on it today. You won't believe how fast this is happening. You really won't. It's just the most amazing thing. And if I hadn't been briefed along the way, I wouldn't have ever believed we could do it. But we're getting that out so fast, and Texas is a key spot. But it is going. The president kept saying it was going to be, it's going to be here right away. And I thought, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. When I started getting internal briefings on it and saw what we were doing, and the thing that's made it different is I remember the polio outbreak. My mother was in the hospital for 3 months with polio. I had polio. And it took so long for us to have the medicine we needed to avoid polio and to treat with polio. It took 10 years, 10 years. This is a whole different situation, a completely different way of putting this together. And so we're going to have it very quickly. We've just got to have enough. And that's what a lot of these meetings are about. How do we get enough of this to all the parts of Texas, not just the big cities? But no, it's moving incredibly fast. And there are 5 different vaccines, and they work differently. And so they're using some, and they're able to test them so quickly.
Okay, I know. Just left the meeting about China. Is there anything you can share with us about what we're trying to do to moderate their?
We're not doing enough. What China's doing to us and the rest of the world is really very, very serious. And we're behind in recognizing it and behind and addressing this. It's very serious what China's done. And I knew this through some situations, and the one that I've been most involved with is the situation with China and those of us who have infections and nothing to treat the infections because China owns all the ingredients. And I lost my sister. My sister died in January of this year. She woke up one night with a terrible pain. She had an infection. She was taken to the hospital, and she never left the hospital. And they identified the infection she had, but there was no antidote for it. And so she died in the hospital. And we've let this happen to us. We've let China have those ingredients and not share them. And I've been following this now for 4 years, and it's very, very serious. So we have to address China, and China is our enemy.
Kay, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. We appreciate your service. We are so grateful for everything that you have helped us with, and look forward to the next 2 years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
President Jason, back to you.
Thank you so much, Don. And Wanda, thank you as well. I think Wanda had I don't even know the backstory, but I think Wanda had a lot of involvement with getting Kay there today. So thank you, Wanda. Okay, well, great to get that real-time update. One more value of being a part of the East Fort Worth Business Association. So glad y'all could be with us. We'll pick right back up where we left off. Some boxes on my screen to move around, so I'm going to need some help with our member introductions, but we've got enough time to push forward on that. So I'm going to keep going. Again, name, position, organization, and why should an East Fort Worth Business Association member call you? Tony Browning, what do you got?
Well, you know me, I won't have too much to say today. I'm Tony Browning. I'm with School Specialty. I'm a native of East Fort Worth, like Kay Granger and several of us here in this group. Anyway, work for School Specialty. I'm a sales rep for them, been there for 11 years. And people in Fort Worth, East Fort Worth Business Association should contact me if they hear of a need or a resource that I may be able to help with at a school or a school district. So I want to ask everybody to please have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and please be very safe. Consider wearing a mask, washing your hands, and remaining socially distant. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Gina Bivens.
Everybody, my name is Gina Bivens. If you are looking for experienced college degree employees, you should call me. I run North Texas Lead. Some of my placements include an executive vice president at DFW Airport over revenue management, a vice president at the airport over environmental matters. The top IT person at DART is one of my candidates. We have helped place several candidates around the region, including the most recent attorney hired by Fort Worth ISD. That's how I pay my mortgage. City council is what I call my volunteer work. And you should call me so I could explain to you why people who live in the John T. White area don't want you to change their zoning for small lots. So that's what I do for a living. And we've got, I think, about 30 members of LEAD, including Bell Helicopter, BNSF, DFW Airport. Today we talked to a company, I forget their name, but it's Trinity River Authority. And so if you're looking for a top diverse talent, and that's not restricted to race, don't get that confused, but we only deal with the experienced professionals, no entry-level people. So that's my intro.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gina. Brian. Brian.
Thanks, Jason. Sorry about that. My name is Brian Bilta. I'm the Senior Director of Corporate and Foundation Relations and Sponsored Programs at Texas Wesleyan University. And if you're in the need of education or brain power, you can come to me. One of my responsibilities is to help plug in businesses to the university. So if there's something you think Texas Wesleyan could help you with, give me a call.
Great. Thanks, Brian. Toby Owen.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Toby Owen. I'm the CEO of the Presbyterian Night Shelter. And I can certainly answer your questions if you have those about the Presbyterian Night Shelter. And if you have questions about homelessness in general, I can give you my opinion. So please give me a call.
All right, thanks, Toby. Daniel Shelley, good seeing you.
Thank you. My name is Daniel Shelley. I work with Landcart Commercial Broker. I spend quite a bit of time on the east side, done multiple deals on East Lancaster, East Rosedale, different industrial deals, land deals. I also focus a lot of time in the office market here in Fort Worth. So commercial broker at Landcart Commercial. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Daniel. Paul Kerpo.
Call me if you have to deal with the FAA.
What kind of FAA deal?
Any regulatory issues with the FAA, particularly parts 21, 25, and 145, but the gamut.
Things I never knew. Okay, thanks, Paul. Charles Hodges.
Hi there, Charles Hodges. I work for Fort Worth ISD. I'm a director for the Eastside Alliance Community Partnership, and our news here this past year has been we combined forces with the Historic Stop 6 initiative and Dr. Carlos Walker. I know a lot of you guys know Dr. Walker, and we've opened a family action center on the campus of Sunrise McMillan Elementary School, right there at Stallcup and in Norris, across the street from the JPS Community Clinic there in Stop 6. We joined forces to provide more robust services to all of the schools and community on the east side. So it's over 25 schools, roughly, downtown Fort Worth to the Arlington city limits. And we do a variety of things at the center. It's basically trying to give a hand up to the community, working on behavioral health, mental health, also community needs such as CAPS, CHIPS for children's medical support. We have social workers on our team who do input on families and students who are in need of these services. And then we connect them. The really exciting part is we connect them to what we call co-located service providers. These are people like JPS, Cook's Children's, MHMR, Alliance for Children, and more than a dozen others who pre-COVID, they provided in-service counseling and services to families at the Family Action Center. But post-COVID, a lot of that has moved to telehealth, and we're doing most of that remotely now. But once COVID is passed, our center there at Sunrise Elementary School will be open, and we'll host everything from community events and large classrooms that we have to individual counseling sessions for people. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Fred Slaybach.
I'm Fred Slaybach. I'm the president of Texas Wesleyan University. And if you or anyone you know needs a smaller, smarter educational experience to get a bachelor's degree or a number of graduate masters and PhDs, or if you want to hire really smart, motivated students into entry-level and advanced positions, come see us.
Thanks, Fred. Bill Schwitzen. Oh, he's muted. Hey, Bill.
Okay. My name is Bill Schwitzen. I'm a native East Sider. I have a financial planning and investment practice here in East Fort Worth. If I can help anybody, I deal mostly with individuals and families. That's what I like to do. If there's any emphasis in my practice, it's on crafting portfolios that generate an above average income for people that need it. I would say that as far as, one word, I would say help. And it's not just me, it's the board of this association. I hope you noticed when we were having the vote, the diversity of talent and the diversity of organizations that are represented by the individuals that you just elected to lead this association. We've got people, we've got an elected official from the city. We've got a highly placed executive with the police department. We've got representatives not only of higher education, but of secondary education. We've got business people. Well, this is a very diverse and very skilled group of people that we have leading this association. And my request to you, not only to you, but your associates and your acquaintances that you do business with, if they need help with an issue here in East Fort Worth, or if there's a situation that they think needs some attention, call one of the board members. Call us. That's the only way that we can work on it, is if we know about it. This is your association. This is our side of town, and it's only going to be as good as we make it. So please be involved and let us know what you think needs to be done. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Bill. Well said. Mike W.
Hello, I'm Mike Wizenan. I'm also a native East Sider, East Hanley Middle School, and Eastern Hills. So been here all my life on the East Side working and going to school. I'm the president and CEO of WizQ Stone. I'm the second generation of family business of landscape and natural stone. And so anything like that, give us a call. Anything in the community that we can help you with as being as a board member, also let us know, because, you know, we need East Fort Worth to be really, really strong.
Thanks, Mike. Stacey Marshall, let's hear from you.
I'm Stacey Marshall, president of Southeast Fort Worth Inc. We handle the economic development revitalization for that area. So you can call on me if you need to know of anybody that's interested in doing any type of development projects or what may be coming down the pike. But I also am the founder and owner of Marshall Multimedia Group and 3 Men 1 Solutions. And what we do under those umbrellas is I give back to the local community in terms of small businesses and startup nonprofits. We come in and help and volunteer, do our marketing services. So we do everything from printed marketing materials for you, as well as help you get your 501c3. That's one way that we give back to the community.
Terrific. Thanks for being here, Stacey.
Thank
David
you.
Salgado. Oh, you're muted, David.
There we go. My name is David Salgado. I'm co-owner of Los Pastores Carniceria. We're off of Rosedale and Ayers. Been there since May of 08. So if you guys are in the mood for some Mexican food, we're there to help you out. But on a serious note, if you guys need some help in the community, we're always ready to partner up and just make East Fort Worth a little bit better.
Thanks, David. See Matthew Hall there, one of our newest members. Matthew.
Thank you, Jason. I'm Matthew Hall, a Meadowbrook native and advocacy director for Raise Your Hand Texas, a public education foundation established by Mr. Charles Butt, the owner and chairman of HEB and Central Market grocery stores. Feel free to reach out to me for information or resources on the upcoming state legislative session, which should be historic and interesting in this time of COVID-19, or if you know a young person who's thinking about being an education major, I'm happy to help with scholarship resources.
Thanks, Matthew. Toby Jackson.
Hi, everybody. I'm Toby Jackson. I am the Fort Worth ISD Board Trustee representing the 2nd District, the only school board district that includes 4 pyramids: O.D. Wyatt, Dunbar, Eastern Hills, and Poly. Poly and Eastern Hills are both in the pyramid I represent. And we just had a fantastic 875 family fed turkey handout on the Saturday before Thanksgiving with LaDainian Tomlinson. The Tomlinson Foundation has agreed to partner at Eastern Hills and at Poly, and he has agreed to partner throughout those pyramids. So if you're interested in volunteering in that way and helping kids right now, in a time which is probably the toughest time any of us have seen in our lifetime, I'm the person to call. I also run a 501c3 called Spark, which is strengthening out of school time programs through advocacy, resources, and collaboration. We've realized that 76105 is the most impoverished zip code in the city and the county, but did you know it's number 3 in the state of Texas on the top 25? It is constantly overlooked in our city and our county, and we need help over there. So Spark has begun delivering things like flu shots, food, clothing, Christmas presents, and also education. So if you know of any family in 76105 that needs assistance, contact me. And I would say, as far as East Fort Worth Business Association, Bill's right. This is a diverse group, and they are extremely intelligent. And I think anybody that needs solutions in business throughout the city should talk to us, because we have a lot of challenges in East Fort Worth and we overcome them.
Thank you, Toby. Judy Simpson. Find that mute button, Judy. There you go.
Hey, I found it. I represent the Poly Alumni Association on the campus of Polytechnic High School. My responsibilities are to identify the needs, not the wants, but the needs at Polytechnic High School, determine if it falls within our guidelines to be able to fill those needs, and then once we vote on that, then to think creatively, how can I get that particular need taken care of, either with donations or monies. One of the most outstanding things we've done is we determined that the last homecoming parade Poly had was in 1992. Once we found out about that, beginning 2014, we brought back the homecoming parade. We now have a feather in our cap and can say we are the largest Fort Worth ISD homecoming parade. In fact, last year, in the middle of October of 2019, we had 125 entries, including 3 from the Masla Shrine Temple, as well as mariachi, all types of horses and everything. As far as our members, so many of the entries were members from the East Fort Worth Business Association. If you would like to help put a smile on the kids' faces, because it is a huge community event with a lot of turnout, get in touch with me and we'll slot you in the parade, I promise.
Great, thank you, Judy. Now, I see a Shirley and a hat, but I'm not quite sure which Shirley that is. Shirley, would you introduce yourself, please? Shirley?
Hello.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
we got you.
All right. Yes, we're still wearing a lot of hats, even though the pandemic is going on. We're keeping busy. I have the SK Benton Holdings motivational speaker, still working on my invention and promoting my book. And I work for the state of Texas as a service professional advisor, working with the different schools. Still busy with my church as a church historian. That keeps me busy. And believe it or not, Gina Bivens just appointed me to an urban design board for the city. So I'm doing quite a few things. So anyway, call me. I'll have an answer.
Great, thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Give Linda Fulmer a run for her money. Don and Wanda.
You know, listening, I'm so glad we're near the end, because listening to everybody, it's extraordinary, the diversity and the enthusiasm and just the depth of knowledge and experience that our board and our organization has. I'm in awe. Obviously, being the secretary and the newsletter guru and everything at the shop, I'm a contact person. So if you need to contact anyone, or if you have any information, please get in touch with us at the shop. That's really our role for East Fort Worth Business.
Do you know what is your business, Don? What is your business, Don?
I wonder about that at times myself.
We are the Quick Copy on Hanley Drive.
Yes.
And we do a lot of business actually local.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
We're hanging in there, surviving.
Exactly.
We had help from the city and we had help from the feds, and we're surviving. And if you have zoning questions, you can ask me, because I'm a zoning commissioner, and Don is a plan commissioner. He's the chairman of the plan commission. And also, if you need to know who to talk to, because I've been around for such a long time, I usually can tell you, okay, this is who you need to talk to about that.
I can vouch for all that. Oh yeah, LaDonna.
Well, I thought I was muted. My name is LaDana Jackson, and I am a senior intern with Tarleton State University as well, working with Miss Linda Palmer.
Thank you, LaDana. Roman?
Yeah, so my name is Roman Kucherevsky, and I'm also a senior at Tarleton State University. I'm a social work student, and I chose Healthy Tarrant County Collaboration because I'm really interested into the community aspect of social work and working at the macro level. So really excited to be here and learn from you all.
And Roman, we can call you if we need any spading or tilling of ground. Is that?
That's right. I'll get you connected to the proper resources.
Okay. Did I miss anybody? Okay. Well, and just to wrap up on the process. So Jason Ray, CEO of Clayton Youth Enrichment, a nonprofit after-school enrichment program, and focused on social emotional learning and social emotional health as part of the outcomes for our kids. And you can call me if you want to learn more about how we can affect the social emotional health of kids, or if you need to make a charitable donation. So with that, I think Tony said it beautifully. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, be safe. We want to see everybody on January 7th, and we don't want to hear any more stories of people who can't be with us because of COVID. And hopes around the corner financially, as we heard from Kay, on the vaccine and therapeutics coming. So there's a lot to rejoice for, but there's a lot we've got to do to get there. And so thank you all for making the East Fort Worth Business Association what it is. The mix of talent, wisdom, experience that this group brings is really powerful. And if we keep harnessing it for East Fort Worth, those challenges we have keep getting smaller and smaller. So with that, thank you. We'll see you in 2021.
No prizes.
No prizes.
Oh, golly. Most important of all. Thank you, Don. David Salgado, save me. Oh, David, we can't hear you. You're not muted, David, but we can't hear you.
How about now?
There you go.
All right, sounds good. So so we came up with this creative idea on how to get these door prizes mixed into our virtual meeting, and here's my attempt at it. So here we go. I put everybody's name here in this digital random name picker. Let me know if I'm missing your name, because I had to retype these since a lot of people left our meeting here. But I think I have almost everybody there. And now we're gonna do here, the drum roll, please. The winner is Paul Kerpo.
All right,
for
Paul.
a gift card to, what was it? What restaurant?
Mexican Inn.
$5 gift card for Mexican Inn.
Awesome. And I'll go ahead and add another gift card for so somebody can visit our store and get some good grilled fajita. Here, let's see. We're gonna do $25. We're gonna match that and pick another name. Can you guys see that? Okay.
We can.
All right. All right. And the next winner for the $25 gift card at Los Pastores is Judy Simpson.
All right.
All right, Judy.
So Judy, if you could just get with me, I'll be happy to be there at the store or give you a tour while we're at it.
Terrific.
I love Mexican food, so I'll call you.
Let's do it.
Great. Thank you so much for handling that, David. Don, thanks for always keeping me out of trouble. And with that, unless I've forgotten something else, have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll see you in January.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.